Guys, Pippa Monique here. Welcome back to my channel. And news just in: David Raya completes his £3 million loan move to Arsenal Football Club from Brentford. The deal includes a £27 million option to buy. Mikel Arteta has brought in the Spanish goalkeeper to compete with English number one. Well, not England's number one yet, but Arsenal's number one England goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. Now, obviously, we've been hearing the rumours and speculations for the last couple of weeks, a month or so, about David Raya joining Arsenal. He's finally here, but the question still hasn't been answered. Where does that leave Aaron Ramsdale? And why would David Raya, after, in my opinion, an exceptional couple of seasons with Brentford in the Premier League, leave his number one spot to join Arsenal if he's not guaranteed to be Arsenal's number one? I understand competition is always great for goalkeepers, but we've seen in the previous seasons, especially with Leno and why have I forgotten his name? Emiliano Martinez, how that panned out, and Martinez only got his rose to fame and his shine once Leno was injured, and he got to have that number one spot for a couple of months, and then got his move to Aston Villa and won the World Cup and all these things. But we've noticed in the previous seasons that the number one keeper doesn't really get shifted. We've seen it happen recently, of course. Ramsdale's done it himself to Leno. Once Ramsdale came in, we just thought he would be the backup goalkeeper to Leno. But then, as we saw quickly in the start of the season, Ramsdale was put in between the sticks. Leno was moved on to Fulham eventually. And now Ramsdale's become number one goalkeeper, and he's done pretty well. I mean, goalkeepers always come under criticism, always. Any little mistake you make, it's going to be under fire. But in my opinion, Ramsdale's been magnificent for us. I've always said he's been pretty erratic, and he does some crazy things. And when he's playing out from the back, and he takes a million seconds to drag it past the attacker, and it's always that fine margin where they can literally get on the rebound and just deflect into the goal. But he likes to play with our heart rates a bit. But will this be what Aaron Ramsdale needs? I really want to understand what his game plan is with this. So let me just read some of the facts I've got in front of me. So Arsenal have paid an initial £3 million loan fee and have the option to buy for £27 million. Raya will extend his contract to maintain value in case Arsenal fail to take up the option. Arsenal have been pushing the agreement to remain within FFP guidelines. That's a talking point recently in the last couple of years. Despite Aaron Ramsdale's stellar performances between the sticks, yes, of course, in pre-season, 2 penalty shootouts in 1 week. I mean, there was one in the Emirates Cup and then, of course, one in Community Shield. And he made a penalty save in each, one against Rodri. Can't remember off the top of my head who he saved against in the Emirates Cup game, but it was all in the same week. And that's the first time I've seen Aaron Ramsdale save a penalty, from what I can remember anyway. So, yeah, that was a good week for him. And already the pressure was mounting, and he was proving why he is Arsenal's number one. But David Raya's here. I've always rated this goalkeeper. He was rumoured to have joined us a couple of seasons ago as well, before Aaron Ramsdale joined. So this is very interesting. So Raya completed his medical last week and has completed his season-long loan move from West to North London. I didn't even know this. I'm only just seeing this now, so I'm going through all the stuff that's been sent to me and stuff I've seen online. Raya was at the Emirates for the Nottingham Forest game. He was sat there, looks like the director's box from those seats, not quite sure. But he was there. How did no one pick this up, and how did no one mention this? Or am I just late? Because I had no idea he was there. The 27-year-old was spotted in the stands at the Emirates on Saturday for the Gunners' curtain raiser against Nottingham Forest. So, yeah, he watched his new teammates. I had no idea he was there, as I just said. So, is this Peter Schmeichel or Kasper Schmeichel that's made a comment on this? It will only bring greater insecurity rather than greater competition between the players. And that's coming from, if it's Peter Schmeichel, or Kasper Schmeichel too, but I'm guessing it's Peter Schmeichel that's made that comment. He knows what he's talking about. He says, I absolutely do not get it. I cannot understand how a manager can come to the conclusion that it's a great thing to have competition for the number one shirt. A goalkeeper's position is very reactive. You cannot create anything on your own. You have to wait for things to happen. Now, I need to know from you guys, where do you stand on this? With David Raya coming in, why is he coming in as a backup goalkeeper? Will he take Aaron Ramsdale's spot? Do you think Aaron Ramsdale deserves to be benched for a few games? Or will Ramsdale or Raya will Raya play just the cup competitions? Will he be playing in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Champions League? Champions League football will be the first for both of them. I could be wrong with David Raya there. Let me get my facts straight. But for Aaron Ramsdale, for sure, it'll be his first time playing Champions League football. Who will be the goalkeeper for the Champions League nights? Are we going to alternate? Is it going to be one goalkeeper throughout the whole season? What is it to be? Who will be the number one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Another quote here says, I have a look at that and say you're signing a problem. Ramsdale for me was one of the best players last year. He made some big performances and really settled into the position. I agree with that. Now, if you're bringing in Raya, who's a number one in his own right, then you're causing yourself a problem. Do you explain why it's a problem? Yes, he does. I don't think Raya would leave Brentford, who's the number one at Brentford, to be number two at Arsenal or any club. If I was in that position, I wouldn't go to any club as a number two. No chance. And I agree with that. So I don't understand why Arteta wants to bring him in. The goalie coach used to be at Brentford. Yes, I do remember that. That's why he was when the goalie coach joined Arsenal, which I think was 2021. It was around that lockdown period or 2020, wherever it was. I thought that that's when David Raya was rumored to come to Arsenal too, and I thought he would have joined him. He goes on to say, so he's bringing Raya in for a reason. He likes him. Maybe he's given some assurances he's going to be number one, but I wouldn't be happy if I was Ramsdale. Now, Ramsdale's made a few comments on this. From what I remember, I read an article a few weeks ago where he says, this is what happens. This is the life of a goalkeeper. He did the same thing to Leno. He understands. But surely that must be such a soul-crushing moment. This guy's played at so many different levels, and especially in the Premier League as well, from a relegation team to a team competing for the title, to finally grow into a team. He's won a bit of silverware in the Community Shield, which is obviously people mock that and say, oh, it's only the Community Shield. But for players that, rarely win things or haven't won anything before, that's a big deal to win something with a team that you've been working so hard with for our season. So for someone that's just starting to rise and become his own at Arsenal Football Club, it is going to be, well, I don't know him personally. I don't know how it will affect him mentally, but I think for anyone that would be a bit soul crushing to have your spot jeopardized with another number one goalkeeper coming in, especially with Matt Turner leaving recently. And how mad is that, by the way? Matt Turner's first ever game after leaving Arsenal was against Arsenal. I'm glad he got the good reception in the Emirates. He deserved it. But yeah, it's so strange, the whole goalkeeper saga at the moment, because Matt Turner looked a great goalkeeper too, and now he's the number one in Nottingham Forest. So it's very strange what's going on. Obviously, Arteta and the coaching team see something in Raya that they didn't see in Turner, and clearly have question marks about Aaron Ramsdale. Right, I think I've waffled on enough. I'm sure I've given you most of the details. If not, they're all online. Let me go to the official Arsenal website for those who cannot be bothered or just want to hear me say it. I'll go to the Arsenal website and see what Arsenal have officially said. Right, welcome to North London, David Raya. Or is it David Raya? I've always called him David Raya. We'll soon find out. Spanish international goalkeeper David Raya has joined us from Brentford on a season-long loan. The 27-year-old has been an integral part of the Bees team in recent seasons and played in all 38 Premier League matches last season. Born in Barcelona, David came... Are we signing him because he's one of the only goalkeepers to beat Man City? I've just realised Brentford were the only team to beat them twice, wasn't it? I'm sure it was twice. Anyway, let me carry on. Born in Barcelona, David came to England at 16 years old when he signed for Blackburn Rovers as an academy player. A short-term loan to Southport in the National League, promotion to the Championship with Rovers, and 108 senior appearances later saw David depart Lancashire for West London in July 2019. So I stand corrected. I was right. Both goalkeepers haven't played Champions League football before. Just needs to fact check that before I made that fact. He's gone on to make 161 appearances in all competitions for Thomas Frank's team, and his first season for Brentford ended with his performances being rewarded with EFL Golden Glove and narrowly missing out on Premier League promotion. Oh yes, I remember that season when Fulham came up. He didn't have to wait too long to play in the top tier of English football. When the following season, David played a key role as Brentford beat Swansea City in the 2021 Championship playoff final to secure promotion. Last year came with great success for David on the international stage. He was called up to represent Spain in March 2022, making his debut in a 2-1 win against Albania. David was then selected for the Spain's 2022 FIFA World Cup squad. The end of 2022-23 season saw David lift silverware with his country when Spain beat Croatia on penalties to win the 2023 UEFA Nations League. So here's David's thoughts about joining the club in his first interview. Sporting director Edu said, we welcome David to us on a season-long loan from Brentford. David is a top-quality goalkeeper who has consistently performed to a high level with Brentford in the Premier League. With David joining us, we are adding quality and depth to our squad so he can perform at the highest possible level in all competitions. As part of the agreement, there is an option to make the move permanent. David will wear the number 22 shirt, and everyone at Arsenal welcomes him to the club. The loan deal is subject to the completion of regularity processes. So that is all the information I have. It's all out there on the internet to find out. But as always, please let me know your thoughts on David Raya being the new goalkeeper at Arsenal. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, as I said, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.